Sustainable or not salon foils?
Yes.
Oh, wait, there was a no and a yes.
So
Okay.
I love. So I like.
It's like controversial. It's like yes and no.
I will expand upon this because there's always going to be something that we would need for incubation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell Podcast, the Ecopreneurs Edge edition. And I am so excited because we have two of my favorite people in today's episode. However, they are both in the clean beauty realm. They are both in the professional hair world. And one of them happens to be my very own personal hairstylist. And the other one, Mikee, is my extremely amazing guest co-host. Well, not guest, but you're my co-host for this series. My gosh. So Mikee, I'm going to have you introduce yourself first, and then we'll bring in Isaac, and I'll officially make sure the two of you meet because you've never met before, so it's going to be fun. So Mikee, please take it away.
Thanks, Nell. Always an honor to be here. And just like season 3 is going to be full of surprises, this recording was a complete surprise to me. So I'm so excited. For those who don't know me yet, I am Mikee with 2 E's. I'm also known as Metro Mikee. The 2 E's in my name stand for the Ecopreneurs Edge. No, I'm just kidding. They stand for the environment and everyone, the 2 things that I care about most. I'm a sustainable salon owner, a sustainable dance studio owner, a fitness trainer, a life coach, a coach, business coach, sustainability coach. The list goes on and on. I'm a serial entrepreneur, if you will. But I love being here because I feel called to share my knowledge and expertise in my personal life, my business life, and obviously the beauty realm. So I'm so excited to have Isaac here. Isaac, we're just meeting for the first time. I would love to know.
I was so excited when Renell asked me to do the podcast. I was so excited, especially when it was pertaining to the clean beauty, because at our salon, that is exactly what we do. All the brands we have are clean beauty brands, and we recycle everything at our salon, and even the waste, the color waste, everything, we try to be as clean as possible. We even have little Kevin Murphy like bowl liners, so everything we try to be like, clean as possible.
Amazing. Well, officially, Isaac, welcome to the podcast. Isaac has been doing hair for 10 years and has been teaching with the brand Kevin Murphy, which is a clean beauty brand, and they're focusing on the performance of the products and the environment. So welcome, Isaac. So excited to have you here and have you meet Mikee for the first time.
Me too. I was so excited, especially when what you just said. I had no idea that you even owned a dance studio as well. I knew you did hair and your salon was a sustainable salon as well. So I was excited to know that you did a dance as well. That's so fabulous. You'll have to teach me how to dance.
So Isaac, Mikee doesn't just teach dance. He does pole classes, which is amazing. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the videos floating around on social media, but like...
Yes, and actually the Housewives, they did it on the Housewives of Salt Lake City, I believe, too, and on Beverly Hills, so that's amazing as well.
So, yes, you guys will have to talk about that for sure.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I want to know all about it. This is so fabulous. What a surprise.
I love that, and I love the fact that you guys are meeting for the first time on the actual episode. And I love picking your brains. I thought it would be a really fun idea today to talk about sustainability, but from both of your perspectives, in other areas of the hair world that maybe we haven't touched on in this podcast. And then I have a really fun rapid fire sustainability question segment scheduled for the end. So I hope you love it. But, there's a lot of things in the clean beauty world, I think, that we don't really touch on, like foils. When you go in for highlights and color and things like that, there's foil, there's single-use plastics and packaging and things like that. So both of you, how are you in your salons protecting the environment by focusing on some of the smaller items and things that we don't think about like that?
Such a good topic to bring up. And there are so many more avenues now to share. I feel like Isaac and myself will be very aligned in this conversation.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Because when I started in the beauty industry 15 years ago, and when Isaac started 10 years ago,
Yep.
there were a little bit more limited options. So we only had a few avenues to go down when it came to introducing sustainability in our salons. And now that has ballooned into so many different and amazing options. I know that we won't be able to touch on the exhaustive list, but that's exactly why we formed the Green Beauty community.
Right.
We interviewed Daniel in season 2, one of the founders of Green Beauty Community, and you can always go to our website, greenbeautycommunity.com, to log in. You can register for free and gain access to all the resources that we've been able to provide there. So if we say something and it's only one of 10 options, just know the other 10 options exist on greenbeautycommunity.com.
So true.
That's amazing.
So Isaac, how are you so by the way, Isaac is at Salon Element in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. And so how do you at Salon Element, how are you focusing on protecting the environment by focusing on some of the smaller things that we don't really think about?
So, like he just mentioned, back in 10 years ago, we didn't really have so many options. There was like maybe one or two very limited options, but now there's a lot more avenues. Like he had mentioned one. And there's also another option, green circle salons. You could sign up for that, and that's like another like monthly service. But it also helps your salon realize how much waste. They also collect hair, they collect color waste and packaging waste. And another thing that we think about in a salon, we carry brands that already reduce packaging. So
Okay.
like Kevin Murphy, Aveda, brands like that. Their packaging is already recycled.
Ah, perfect.
At
That's
least
amazing.
96%. So they're already limiting down. And
Okay.
they also use facilities that are powered by wind.
Oh, interesting. And I mean, obviously, I know they're not based in Lebanon, PA, but I feel like we've had so
No.
much wind lately in central PA
I
that
know.
we need to harvest some of that and send it to these companies so they can use it.
Even down in Florida. I was just in Florida last week for Epic Universe's opening, and it was just so windy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe it's not just central PA.
No, I think maybe the East Coast.
No, because I just got back from doing wedding hair in Vegas, and taking off from the Vegas airport was the scariest plane takeoff I have ever had because it
No.
was so windy. I was like, I thought this was a desert. Like, how is
Don't be
it?
misled. In Utah, the same thing happens when I go for Kevin Murphy training. If it's windy, it's like it's a little
A
scary.
little touch and go.
Yeah.
So I know we touched on some of the positives and negatives of, wind power harnessing in season 2, but we might
Yes.
need some more windmills.
We
Yeah,
definitely
I
might.
think so. I think so.
So, what are some ways that people at home, clients, that are investing in professional hair color and professional hair services and things like that? What are some ways at home? Because they're likely going to take care of their hair and things and skin and things like that at home as well. So, what are some ways that clients can be environmentally friendly with their packaging and chemicals and things like that at home? Like, what can we do to help as well?
Ooh, ooh. I wish clients would utilize our refilling services more, at least at our salon. We actually
Oh.
carry the majority of our like sellable retail products in big liters, or at least half liters that we can refill. And I would say 90% of clients do not utilize this service. They just come in and rebuy a whole new packaging, which is,
Oh.
adding more to the waste. When they could just come in with their old packaging
Mhm.
and get it refilled.
That's a really good point. And Isaac, I didn't even know that you guys had a refill service like that. That's amazing. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
a lot of people don't know, but I'm trying to talk about it more now.
Good, good. That's awesome. Mikey, what are some ways that you think that people can
So that's one
help?
of my number one favorite ways to reduce the, packaging impact. Two of my other favorite ways are going to be to utilize affiliate marketing that salons and studio owners and independent stylists have at their disposal, because there are some really cool companies. One that comes to mind is Small Wonder, and they just won an innovative award for their shampoo, which they have shampoo, conditioner, a serum, and I think one other product that just launched. But what you can do is actually buy the product and then buy the refill. And when you buy the refill, they send you packaging, biodegradable packaging, to send back the initial container or the refill container, and then they recycle that. So it's made out of I believe it was aluminum, so they can sanitize, disinfect, and sterilize that, use that again, and when that is no longer viable, they can actually recycle that aluminum, because aluminum is infinitely recyclable. So you can pretty much have like the same container for the entire lifetime of your hair products. And then another one is to utilize, so we have refilleries, affiliate marketing, and then obviously shampoo and conditioner and body bars. So there's a company called Dip that really has eliminated like any kind of packaging, whatsoever. They do have a really cool shampoo bar stand that you buy once and then you can use it. That way it doesn't just sit in the water in your shower at home.
Oh, that's a big issue.
Because, you buy this beautiful package-free shampoo bar and then it sits in the puddle of water and gets all gooey and you lose half the product. So like they have almost eliminated, all packaging whatsoever.
That's amazing. I love that you guys are telling us about these brands that I've never heard about and these options. That's so cool. I love that. So let's talk about products that are particularly harmful for the environment. So what are some products that you both think are most harmful that people don't realize?
It's a lot of, excuse me, a lot of the smoothing treatments that are on the market. Like some of the renters that we had at our salon were doing a lot of smoothing treatments, and like a lot of them, 9 out of 10 release formaldehyde when heated. So that is like little particles of formaldehyde. You can't really get rid of them, no matter how good the ventilation system is, unless you literally have it at your station. I mean, come on, who's having that? I think I've seen one salon on social media having that, but then you also have to wear like this giant like gas mask, and at that point, it is toxic.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to be doing that, I feel like, well, I would look for other options.
Right. So I think that's mainly the number one that I see and would like to avoid, at least at our salon. So we don't really have that issue now that we don't have the renters anymore, because we don't really offer that service at our salon.
Got it.
So now that, the renter has her own area, it's fine, because she's not at our salon anymore.
Got it. Mikey, what do you think are some of the most harmful products that people don't know about?
So I would definitely go with the smoothing treatments. I actually quit offering those, I believe, around the time of COVID.
Okay.
So, and that would include keratin treatments, and also I do not perform relaxing services at my salon either.
Me
either. So the chemicals released in a keratin treatment can be super toxic. Now, there are brands that are doing it okay, but the lingering effects, even with those brands, the vapor that lingers in the salon afterward is just not pleasant. And then the smoothing or the relaxing treatments, the ones that are supposed to permanently straighten your curl pattern, which I don't know why anyone would want anyway, because curls are beautiful. Those have been shown to have correlation with a lot of endocrine disruptors. So as we talked about in season 1, it usually takes about 28 seconds for chemicals to cross the skin to blood barrier and enter your bloodstream. And some of those chemicals have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier. So not only are you affecting your body, but you're also affecting your neurological pathways. So I quit doing relaxing services, I think, in 2017. So those are going to be bad for the environment, bad to wash down the drain, and bad for our clients themselves. And something that's and I could talk. I'm so deep into this. I don't know what like beginner people, like people at home. I sometimes I talk about things that are just so highbrow, if you will, that I'm gonna have to
I
reel
love it.
myself
Let's do
in.
it.
But one of the new things that's coming out is there are starting to be studies done on skincare being the new cigarettes.
Let's
And
elaborate on
so
that.
there are a lot of products. I know that we just had a win in, the crazy geopolitical socioeconomic times that we're in. But Skittles just agreed to take titanium dioxide out of their formulations.
Yes.
Titanium dioxide is in a lot of makeup.
Oh.
And so we're ingesting it, we're putting it on our skin, we're putting it near our eyes, we're going outside, we're sweating it into our eyeballs. I know we all know what it feels like to get sunscreen or mascara in our eyeballs. And it's
Yeah,
not
it just
fun.
happened to me last week in
God.
Florida. I was like,
Yeah, so what we're doing is just rubbing that in our skin all the time, whether it's skincare or makeup, and then it's also getting in our mouth when we lick our lip balm. It's getting in our nose when we breathe in our setting powder, and it's getting in our eyes. So all of these things are taking less than 28 seconds to enter into our system. So I don't know where the conversation is going to go on that, but I think the call there is to be mindful of which salons you're supporting, be mindful of the products that they're using and you're using, and also just start to think about the ingredient lists, as we've said many times before on the Ecopreneurs Edge, in what we're using.
Absolutely. This is really great information. Yes, this is very new information that just literally came out last week, but by the time this episode releases, this will have started to circulate a little bit more. But what specific products is titanium dioxide a part of? Is it like foundations, or like you mentioned lip balms, like other specific products that people should watch out for in particular?
For the titanium dioxide, I would look for anything that's pressed. So your eyeshadows, your powder foundations, your setting powders, they can be pressed or non-pressed. So it's really going to be in more of those powder formulations.
Okay. So, wow, this is amazing information. I feel like
and with that being said, you're also having the risk of it inhalation because of it being powder.
Yeah. So, I mean, absolutely. When you're brushing that on your face.
Think about it. If it's like in the air, you can see it in the sunlight. And
oh my goodness. Okay. So I have a little bit of a confession to make. So when I was doing makeup for, today for this episode, I was putting the pressed bronzing highlighter all over my face from Hourglass. That's probably not, I don't know what their standards are, but it was a very expensive palette and I've had it for a very long time. Also, confession, I'm trying to use it up. So maybe I should put that in the trash.
Well, check the ingredient label first because it could be okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mikey, for making me feel better.
Yeah, it's like, don't get too worried.
And I do just always want to remind everyone, we have coached on the Ecopreneurs Edge so many times to make small, sustainable baby steps towards, whatever sustainability goals that we have. There's no... what I know to be true is that the human body is so resilient. We have been putting it through HE double hockey sticks for 100,000 years, as Homo sapiens. So, using a makeup palette to finish it, I don't know that that's going to be the end all be all, but I do just want to call attention to, the flip side of that. While we're making these baby steps, we do just have to be open and aware. There was a lawsuit that a hairdresser brought into the courts because of hair color.
Yes.
Man, this is such a convoluted topic. When hairdresser, and this kind of tied into my brain because I was saying using a makeup palette once isn't going to, harm you permanently, most likely. Using hair color as a salon client, you're there once every 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks. So maybe, 4 to 8 times a year, you're getting hair color. That hair colorist is doing color 8 times a day. And
Yeah.
so there was a lawsuit brought because a hair colorist ended up getting cancer that was likely tied into the products in the hair color over a lifetime of usage. So that's why we at salons are starting to become more aware of the products that we're using on you, not necessarily to only protect you, but to also protect ourselves. It's why in my salon I chose the hair color and product line that I did initially. I've been using it the entirety of my salon ownership career. It was the first one to go ammonia free. It is one of the industry leaders in ammonia free hair color. They also reformulated while I was using them to be paraphenyldiamine free, PPD, which is a known allergen and possible carcinogen. That was the reason that people told pregnant women not to get their hair color.
Oh, I never knew why that was.
So there is never going to be a hair color that is completely chemical free. Otherwise, it wouldn't do its job.
Right.
But there are many, many brands that are really taking steps forward and have already taken great steps forward into making safe and sustainable hair color. So that just tied into me as we're making those baby steps towards sustainability. One time isn't going to hurt. Small amounts isn't going to hurt. Finish your products and then buy something better. Or finish your hair coloring and find a stylist who's going to use better products for themselves so that they live a long, healthy life to color your hair until retirement.
Well, I want you both specifically to live a long, healthy life. So let's keep that movement going.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I will ask you both this question, but Isaac, I want to know what are some baby steps that people can take at home to help protect the environment in their hair care routine?
In their hair care routine, I would say I would say try to recycle. And like especially in my neighborhood, I see maybe my own recycling bin out and that's about it. I don't see very many recycling when I'm driving around, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I would say just get out there and recycle. And if you can't afford to, honestly, I know the economy is hard. If you can't afford to pay for a recycling service, bring it to the salon. We can recycle it for you.
That's good to know. That's amazing. That's very cool. I wish that people, I hope that people hear
Even
that
if you're not a
message.
client, just we can recycle your stuff.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
I would love to caveat on that. Number one, go back and listen to our episode on recycling with Kelly McGonnell, who is the director of the Dauphin County Recycling Center, because she had a lot of great tips. And number two, I have found that there are so many local supplemental recycling things. Like people don't realize that now in our area, at least Goodwill can recycle electronics. I know that Best Buy. So if you have a hairdryer or a flat iron, you can take it to these local places and, maybe save a little bit on shipping costs. Although, I mean, if you're driving an EV, then you're just using a little bit of electric. If you're driving a hybrid, you're just using a little bit of fossil fuel and electric. So it's like kind of finding the local options. There are scrap recycling centers that have been so awesome in working with my salon to take aluminum foil. There are local CSAs and gardening places that have agreed to take some of my hair clippings. Not to mention I'm an avid gardener and composter, so I use some of that to not only compost in my own garden, but the smell of the hair can sometimes keep the bunnies and the squirrels out of my corn patch.
That is very true. We do that. Me and Talina, our owner, we do that. It is very good for the earth.
I have a few clients who will actually ask me to take their hair home. Yeah. I'll pick up, with gloved hands, I'll pick up, and I recycle my gloves too. I'll pick up, the nice chunks of hair. I'll put it in a little paper bag. I'll send that home with them, and then I'll sweep up the little bit of hair clippings that, that's left. Nice. And there's also a local artist in my area who makes art out of human hair. So there are many like local options because I am a fan and advocate of Green Circle salons, and there's also a couple of other really cool recycling options. I know that Pact Collective, I think,
you're right,
is a recycling program. There's also I don't think it was Green Spa Network, but I know that there were multiple beauty specific recycling options, but those can be carbon heavy shipping things out, especially in larger salons, I was lucky. So normally I will try to utilize the local recycling options. And make sure you just rinse everything. So pumps, I try not to get a lot of products with pumps, and I reuse the pumps that I have if I need that, because the pumps are usually mixed media. So it will be metal, one type of plastic, a different type of plastic, and those are not easily recyclable. The bottles that you get are typically one type of plastic, easy to recycle. So I just take the pump off, put it on a new product, recycle the old bottle. But that bottle has to be rinsed out, because recycling companies are just known that if there's a little bit of peanut butter left in the jar, if there's a little bit of shampoo in the jar, if there's a little bit of makeup in the compact, they're not going to recycle that.
Important information, people. Clean out your containers and packaging before you recycle. So really
let me step off my pedestal there.
Yes, you were right about that. I was going to talk about that, especially in our area. Our actual like local recycling area, people in our area came to our salon and was like, "You guys need to like make sure you're cleaning it out, because if it comes with even a little bit of stuff in it, we're just going to throw it all away." I was like, oh my God. And could you imagine, a salon wouldn't even know that. They could think they're doing their part and, doing a great job in recycling. But if you also, it has to, you're right, it has to be totally clean.
Amazing. Yeah, that's really, really good to know. So, okay, I hope people are listening to this and taking this information down, because this is really important. So before we get into the rapid fire question, I do have a question for both of you as well. Besides the brand, besides Kevin Murphy and other brands that we may have mentioned during today's episodes, what are some of your favorite clean beauty brands that work so well?
Isaac, I'll let you go first, because I have too many.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's like a few like more affordable options. Shubibira. Maybe I'm not pronouncing that right, but I can have right now link it.
Sure.
That is another great option. It's very similar to Kevin Murphy, very similar standards, very clean, recycled packaging. It's just more affordable, so that's another brand that comes to mind. And another one is Davines. They're a huge line, but they grow everything that they use in their products in their garden.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's another thing, like clean, in-house. They keep everything. They're not destroying the environment. Recycled water from their own property. It's like, it's great things. Their facility is powered by water.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I've never heard of either of these brands, so
We have
that's
them
really
at the
good to know.
salon as well, just
Do
a few
you?
of their products. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out for sure.
Those are great options. Davines, I'm particularly just enamored with their whole business model. I love them.
Nice.
But I normally would send people to my Linktree in my Instagram, which houses some of the coolest brands that I have, utilized in my salon, but also have felt called to become an affiliate for. And that would be Malibu, Malibu Sea. It is a little bit more of an effective, sustainable, vegan professional color brand, and I really found them because I was looking for a lot of hard water treatments. Because we're blessed in Harrisburg, we have some of the best water in the nation, let alone, on the East Coast. And we have an amazing water management public utility company in Capital Region Water. We have one of the most pristine reservoirs that feeds Harrisburg. In the transition, as Capital Region Water was taking over, they were upgrading a lot of things, which meant they were pushing a lot of things through the system. So I needed Malibu Sea as a way to protect my beautiful blonde hair color clients from getting green hair, getting discolored hair, or getting hair that like broke and burnt and fried off. So Malibu Sea, great vegan option for hard water, people who don't live in or around Harrisburg. I love Virtue. They actually formulated one of their own synthetic compounds that is still vegan, still sustainable, but is like the only keratin molecule that does what it does. So if you need a little bit more protein and strength in your hair, I would recommend them. And then I love Insight, which is the only brand that I champion from outside of the US, because I love supporting local. I love not adding to the carbon carbon dioxide catastrophe that we're in right now.
Yeah.
But they actually were one of the first companies to go completely carbon neutral in their processing, manufacturing, and distribution models.
Wow.
They do carbon capture and carbon buyback programs to offset anything that they do. They utilize a lot of sustainable energy. And one thing that I just love about them, besides the smell of their products, is they use recycled, ozonated, nickel tested water.
What?
So they do have liquid formulations, which I know that the shampoo bars are great because they take the water that you already have in your shower out of the products. So you're not paying for that added shipping and all that. But this company has gone so far. There are a lot of people who can't wear jewelry because it turns their skin colors. And that's usually a nickel allergy. And so this company has gone above and beyond to make sure that the water purity going into their products like matches like what would come out of a natural pristine spring. So they're from Italy. They're really cool. Carbon neutral if you order them, and you can order them all through my affiliate links, which takes the middleman. I don't have to ship them to my salon. That way you drive and pick them up and then drive back home. So they have eliminated carbon, and by becoming an affiliate for them, I have eliminated even more carbon. So those are three of some of the best brands that I love championing.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. I feel like I'm getting so much value out of this episode. All right. We have reached the fun and educational segment. We are going to do rapid fire questions, sustainable or not. And I want both of you to answer top of your head, instant, don't think about it, yes or no, or yes, sustainable, no, not sustainable. Okay. All right. Are we ready?
I think so. This
Yeah,
always
I
makes
think
me
we're
nervous.
ready.
All right. Here we go. Number 1. Aerosol dry shampoo.
No.
Not.
Okay. Bamboo brushes.
Yes.
Salon foils.
Yes.
Oh, wait. There was a no and a yes.
So
Okay.
I love. So
It's like controversial. It's like yes and no.
I will expand upon this because there's always going to be something that we would need for incubation. I'm a much bigger fan of infinitely recyclable aluminum than I am plastic processing caps, styrofoam hair meshes, and I still am not convinced that the biodegradable papers are not going to create a landfill space problem. So I prefer to use foils that I can infinitely recycle. Hopefully the recycling centers are using, carbon neutral, sustainable, renewable energy to recycle them. But I'm going to go with yes, foil is anything aluminum is always going to be one of the best choices for the environment.
All right. And Isaac, you said this is a controversial subject.
I would say it like he said yes if there like are salons and they're recycling them, but I know a lot of salons are not, and so like if they're not like part of like a group like we are, like then maybe their groups don't accept the foils to be recycled. Some areas don't, like our local area in Lebanon with the color in the foil, they will not accept it normally for like recycling.
Got it.
We would have to like clean the color out of the foil if we wanted to recycle it in our local area without Green Circle Salon. But Green Circle, we obviously, but with the carbon problem, as a salon, we only limit it like to 2 shippings per month.
Okay.
So we do kind of try to limit that down. Sometimes it is only once per month. But it's nice to have that because we visually see how much color you're wasting or product or whatever it may be.
Sure.
So it visually it helps to cut it down. So we know then we're like, okay, after a few months of having it, okay, we're really cutting down the waste, so we're not having to ship it as much. So then we're also keeping the carbon in mind.
Sure, absolutely. All right, last one. Sustainable or not? Box dye kits.
No.
First of all,
they should be illegal in my opinion, but that's another controversial thing.
I try not to judge.
It's not from a judging aspect, it's more for the environment aspect. They can legally sell box color as ammonia free if it's less than 10% ammonia.
But it's not ammonia free.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I just know the sustainability of my business does not depend on people who box color their hair.
No.
But there is a time and place for now for everyone and everything.
Right. I was like, I'm never judging. I know times are tough. If right now comes in and she has a little moment, I'm not going to judge her for it. We're just going to educate her on what's in the product so maybe we don't make that choice again.
Oh, so well said. I had to throw that in there for you both because I know that box dye is, a no-no, an arch nemesis in the hair world. So I just, I had to throw that one in there. But I love you both. You handled that so well. So thank you. Oh, you guys, this has been an amazing episode, and I'm so happy that you both could be here. But Isaac, tell people, and if you're not following Isaac on social media, Isaac does these awesome reels with his clients, before and afters of hair color transformations and things like that. So you need to just follow Isaac for that. But Isaac, please tell people where people can find you and how they can connect with you.
Yes, all my social media platforms are Isaac the Colorist, all one word. So it's ISAAC the Colorist, all together. And all that's for every social media platform. And I actually just started uploading on YouTube little shorts.
Good for you.
I wanted to start doing that more, so I'm excited.
Yay! That's amazing. And Mikee, all of the information on how to connect with you will also be in the show notes as well. But you should definitely visit both of these beautiful humans' places to be for, salon and pole dancing classes.
Yes, I want to come now so bad.
Okay, so Isaac, we'll have to set up a date with Mikee to come and go to the studio, okay?
Yes.
We'll talk about that at my appointment tomorrow.
Yes.
Luckily, Nell, I think you know the owner, so it might be easy.
Yeah, I think we can.
Yes,
we have an
I would love it.
Awesome. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here today on the Ecopreneurs Edge. And this was such a fun episode. And thank you all for listening and watching. If you are on YouTube, please share this video with a friend, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on your favorite audio platform, make sure you leave us a review. We don't want you to leak anything. We're all about protecting the waterways.
You can leak all of our tips and tricks and secrets.
That's true. That's
yes,
true.
Share.
So do all the things, and most importantly, be kind to yourself, be kind to the environment and everyone. So thank you all so much. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.